Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Happy Friday. It's Kings and Dreams with a special on the East Coast, 5 a.m. early morning live. You see what's in the background, you know what's about to happen. But first,
Whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Purdy this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
as I mentioned, good morning, y'all. As y'all all coming through, you see what's going on in the background. My man Austin Holloman, great friend of mine, great friend of the show. And you see him in the background, but you about to see the brother right next to me. What is going on, man? How you doing, brother?
How you doing? I'm doing
Man,
excellent. Yourself?
Man, it is great to see you, man. You know,
Good to see you.
let's jump right into it. The last time you were on my channel, I believe you were in Thailand, and you were mentioning that you were going to be going to Africa, right?
Yes.
I'm glad that you went there, and I think that both of us, with our conversations that we've had offline, that you were more than pleasantly surprised. So, and I know one of the things that prompted you to go to Africa sooner rather than later, with your allergies and things of that sort. But let's kind of jump into the meat and potatoes, man. So you went to Africa.
Okay.
What was the first place that you went to when you went to Africa?
I went to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, in East Africa.
Okay. All right. And how did you like that?
I liked it because it was a big enough shift. But it's Black and Africa in general. That's what I liked about it. I was able to be myself a lot more while I was there.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You kind of broke up a little bit, so but I get the gist of it. So you said that you liked it a lot because you were able to be your natural self, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect, man. All right. And then from there, where did you go next?
From there, I went to Nairobi, Kenya. I went to Kampala, Uganda, and Kigali, Rwanda, and now I'm back in Nairobi.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. All right. So what are your thoughts on the continent of Africa as a whole from what you have seen thus far?
I think that Western, and I've said this before, I think that Western media has propagated Africa for us to believe that there's not any recognizable similarities in between Africa or places in Africa and places like the United States or somewhere like France. Like, for example, they only show you people in Africa with starvation, HIV, poor, and lions and safaris and stuff like that. But when you get here, all this stuff is here, yes, but a place like Nairobi is not much of a culture shock for an American.
Right. I'm glad that you mentioned that, right? And I'll even take it a step further, right? So, due to the fact that we're both in the tribal community, blue book gentlemen, people say passport bro, whatever, right? But we're all, both in the tribal community, right? And so I do think that you mentioned propaganda, and I think that that's actually the right word, right? Because when it comes to different countries, the things that we see in the United States, like you mentioned the continent of Africa, like you'll see like one part of it, like the jungle and lions and tigers and things of that sort, right? One of the things that you have mentioned, and I'll ask you about this even further, the infrastructure. Let's go to there. Now, I know you're from Dallas, so Dallas area, Texas. I'm from, New York City metropolitan area. And so you had mentioned with Nairobi on your channel how Nairobi is very affluent. Talk about that.
As far as infrastructure goes.
Yes, correct. Expound on that if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Also, that background music is kind of loud.
Oh, it is. Okay, let me turn that down. I'm sorry, brother.
No problem.
I thought I had it lower.
So as far as infrastructure in Nairobi,
Is that better?
it's very yes, it's very recognizable to somebody that's in the United States because there's not a lot of dirt roads. The roads are pretty much well developed for the most part. There's
Right.
the infrastructure as far as like skyscrapers and stuff is way more than the other African countries I've been to so far, especially Tanzania and Uganda. They don't even compare to, the skyline that's in Nairobi as to Dar es Salaam. A lot of Tanzanians don't like that I said that, but I mean, there are dirt roads in Tanzania. There's dirt roads in Kenya too, just very few in Nairobi from what I've seen. I've only been in Nairobi. Very few. The Ubers work the same way they would in the States. For some reason, when you call an Uber, they're always at least, no more than like 1 minute away from where you're at. The other countries, the Ubers don't know how to use Uber. Literally, they don't know how to I don't even know how they do it every day. They don't know how to use a GPS Uber. They don't know where you're at. They don't know their city. They don't know anything. And that's frustrating being in the other countries. But in Nairobi, it seems that they're very up to date, but they're not westernized. They're modernized, I would say.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. Modernized but not westernized. Got it, man. Let me just kind of jump back a little bit because like one of the things what I was saying is when it comes to propaganda, like let's say let's talk about the country of Colombia just really quickly, right? Like I know you've been to Medellin metropolitan area and things of that sort, right? Like when you hear about Medellin living in the United States, you think about how it was back in the 80s or the 90s, right? And Medellin is very affluent. Like Medellin is a metropolitan area, and then fast forward into what you're mentioning about Nairobi, how Nairobi is very affluent. If you are reaching out for an Uber is like a minute or so away, like it's very convenient, right? So I think that when you talk about propaganda, I think that's the right word to use. And one of the things that I would say for you, I think he froze here. Are you there?
Yeah. I'm back now.
Okay, cool. Well, what I was saying is, you mentioned the word propaganda, right? And so just kind of going back into, I don't know what's the last thing that you heard, but I'll just kind of quickly rehash it. But what I was saying is that I'll mention the country Colombia and the city Medellin specifically, how Medellin is a very affluent city and things of that sort, right? And so you mentioned with Nairobi is a very affluent city and you mentioned like how if you are using the Uber app, the Uber is like a minute or so away. It's very convenient for you to get an Uber.
Yes.
Right. So I think the word propaganda makes a lot of sense because us living in the United States or us living in the Western part of the world, I will say specifically United States, like we only get shown certain parts of different countries.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you actually boots on the ground are actually able to actually, really explain from your standpoint your experience. So let's jump into a little bit more of Nairobi, right? So how long have you been in Nairobi as a whole? I know that you went to different countries, but how long have you been in Nairobi as a whole?
Today is day number 14.
Day number 14. Okay. Nice, man. Nice. Your thought process, what would you say that you appreciate the most about Nairobi?
Uh, that's a hard thing to say which one exactly. But overall,
Okay, you know what? Let's name at least like 3 to 5 things.
well, overall, I would say, like I said before, the modernization, the fact that you can use a debit card anywhere, just about anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the infrastructure is up to date and recognizable from somebody coming from the 21st century in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that almost 100% of the people know English. The fact that it's affordable. It's more expensive than I think Tanzania, but overall it's affordable. And the people are just very welcoming. Like I have grown men I've never met on my TikTok comments telling me they love me because I put videos up of Nairobi.
Nice, man. Nice. One of the things that I've observed, and I'm not just saying this like because we're online. I've actually told you this offline. I've seen a lot of growth in you yourself, where I've seen that like I don't know there's a movie that came out back in the 70s, and it's called the Kung Fu Master, right? And so I don't know if you've seen it or you might have heard of it, but what it is that it's this guy, and I believe it takes place in New York City, and like this guy has like this glow. Well, once he becomes like the Kung Fu Master, and so I kid with that, but what I'm really trying to say is that you have a different aura about you. Like I would say that when you got to the continent of Africa, I've definitely have seen like your smile is different, your dress is different. You with cigars. I'm like, okay, man, I see you.
It changed everything. It changed my entire I guess my urgency to be my best self. I've always wanted to, but I think my urgency to be my best it improved a lot here.
Absolutely. What do you think? What do you think was kind of like the catalyst, if you will, that made you want to continue to be a better version of yourself? Because I'll say that like I've always seen you evolve. I haven't ever seen you devolve.
I would say the catalyst, to be honest and quite frank with you, is Black women worldwide are probably gonna be your toughest judgment, your toughest judges
Yeah.
on your physical appearance and how you come. Like if you're a cornball, you can go to Thailand and make it. You can go to the Philippines and make it.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain parts of Colombia. Well, I guess that they're doing pay for play. They can make it, but
Right.
African countries and countries where it's large amounts of black people,
Yeah.
you can't be too goofy. Not that I was goofy, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying like you have to be on your shit.
Gotcha.
It makes you grow up a lot faster.
Gotcha. So basically, essentially, what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong here, like you can't you can't fake it till you make it. Like you actually have to be on your grind and be your true authentic self
to get what you want. Yes, or you can settle for anything.
Understood. I appreciate that. All right, we are about 15 minutes in. Please make sure that you are liking the video. Make sure that you are hitting your notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Also subscribe to Austin Holloman's channel. And I appreciate you all for watching, especially those who are on the East Coast. I know it is 5:30 a.m. here, but it is they're 7 hours ahead. So in Kenya, it is 12:30 p.m. So it's in the middle of the afternoon. Let me get to a couple of people that have joined the chat here. Let me give a couple of shout outs here. Putin Lucifer, salute. Definitely appreciate you. Dr. Durden, we up in here. Appreciate you. Aaron B, salute. RP all day, Crimson Capsules, of course. I am Alex. What, man? I haven't seen you in a little minute. Yeah, this late? This early, you mean? Good morning. Let's see here. Let's say Fennel service. I don't know what that means. Coach Lamont says, "What's up?" That jacket does look fly. Yeah, nah, he definitely has a nice jacket, man. Looking like the Tuskegee Airmen, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Poolman 313, shout out to Detroit Morning Kings on Thailand African time. Yes, absolutely, man. I'll watch the replay because I've seen way too many lives. Peace. Peace and Tres 23rd like. All right. Catch you later, man. Kimberly KMA, good morning, my sister. How you doing? Let's see here. Please remove background music. Again, no, I lowered it. Calm down. We're good. All right. Facts Austin. Let's see. Salute. All right, JP. I got you. My man Jeff Johns is in the building, man. Salute. Okay, I will get to the rest of the comments later, man. All right. Now being in Africa and one of the things in Africa, right? Well, one of the people that that we all know in this space, travel community, when we talk about men's content, right? O'Shea Duke Jackson. Now, O'Shea Duke Jackson, he's been a pillar in men's content for years, right? So now, you meeting O'Shea Duke Jackson, tell me how that was like.
He was very cool. He took very well care of me. He showed me around. He had locals show me around. He would always he did a lot more than he needed to, but he was just as lively as he is in his videos. Like his intro is him, kind of being loud. He's like that in person too. Like, he's very lively. I really like him. He's cool. That's on mute.
Sorry about that. I muted myself. So with O'Shea Duke Jackson, right? You said that he helped you out a lot. Now he had been critical of you because there were things that happened in the past with with the country of Brazil. To me, we've spoken about this. I think it was one big misunderstanding that really got blown up. But were you guys able to talk your differences out, or what are your thoughts about that?
No, I don't think we never had to talk any differences out. I don't think he ever really had an issue. He may have said it in a way that came off that way, but no, we didn't have. No.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay, move on. And so he also has a show called the Pan African Dating Show. Yeah, man. And so what so tell me about that experience.
The production was amazing, the setup was amazing, the plan was amazing, but the blindfold part wasn't for me. There was two options. There was a blindfold, and then there was another one where I think it's like a behind the curtain, but you can still see who you're talking to from what I heard. The blindfold, you can't see. So behind the scenes, people were telling me, the crew was telling me, Austin, get to know her. You need to be a little more entertaining or something, And I'm just like, shit, I can't do that. I don't just flirt with anybody, so I can't think of nothing to genuinely say without being able to see her.
Yeah.
But I could do it again, but I need to see their face because my charisma is just fine out here in Kenya right now, and it was just fine in Rwanda too. But that blindfold doesn't do it.
What were your thoughts about the contestants? Because I saw that you had you had some chemistry with I think at least like two of them, man.
Two of them.
Yeah.
The other two, no. Absolutely not.
Gotcha.
I picked the wrong one though. I picked the wrong one.
Yeah. Man, I think it's interesting being on like a show like that, like because you're not able to, as you mentioned, like you're not able to physically see a person, or the other option you said, like you would have to like talk to them like behind a curtain. To me, I think that's awkward, and I would pick of course, if I had the choice, I would pick the blindfold because you're both like kind of like in that same intimate space, right? So I would pick that option as well. And now me, I'm a bit more outspoken, so I would pick up some chemistry, but I can understand like you're like, listen, like I just don't flirt with anybody. Like I got to be able to physically see you and okay, like see like how the vibe is physically and all of that things, man. But I think you did a great job, man. I think you did a great job. And so that was in Uganda, right?
Yes, in Kampala. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about Uganda a little bit. So what was your experience like in Uganda?
I really enjoyed it. Uganda was, and I would say the same for Rwanda too. It was more of just a scenic, for me. It was more of a scenic kind of, just go out and look at the, the nature. And it was a party town too. There was something going on 7 days a week.
Oh,
but
wow.
only thing that was, I don't know, the way how it's like there was a shortage of women when you would go out.
Really?
You go out, like 80% of the room is dudes, and I have it on video. Several different places. I have it. It's on YouTube. If you look, you can just see walking around. Rwanda's like that too. Kenya, Tanzania are not like that.
I see. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So let's actually, with the nightlife, let's kind of get into that part of it. What would you say, out of the countries that you've been to, has the best nightlife, and why?
I would say Nairobi.
Okay.
Nairobi, Kenya, because yes, there may be more stuff going. No. I don't know why people say Uganda is the party capital of Africa or East Africa or any capital. I don't know what. I didn't see that. I really didn't see. I mean, a bunch of dudes hanging out is not a party capital to me. You know, that's really what it was. O'Shea took me to 2 places, and it was like, okay, this is a good ratio.
Yeah.
All the places that the local guys were taking me to, and some of the nice spots, you know, they were just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I said I think it was a shortage of women. But in Kenya, there's a bunch of women mainly everywhere you go, and they're dressed really fly, and they're really pretty. There's a lot of them, and they're really friendly, and they're really so. That for a man, I think is the best scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, like if you go to a nightclub or a lounge or something of the sort, right? Like, and it's 80% guys, like that's off balance. That's super off balance. Like, you know, in a perfect world, you know, we guys probably would prefer like 70-30, but like even if it's like, you know, 45-55 or, you know, 50-50 or 60-40 or something like that, you know, that's still pretty good. But 80%, yeah, that's a bit rough. That's a bit rough.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, so what about Tanzania? Like you mentioned, you know, the nightclub scene was good there as well.
Yeah. It wasn't as much going on as Kenya, but it was still there was no complaints I had about it.
Gotcha. All right. Let me jump into some more of these comments here. Let's see here. Cali Dev says that China has helped Africa develop. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yep. Absolutely. Make sure that you guys are following Austin on Twitter. That's his Twitter right there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that one. Yes. Also, make sure that you all are liking the video. Please like and subscribe. Also, make sure that you guys are checking out Austin Holloman on TikTok as well. It looks like it's afternoon there. The time zones are crazy. Yes, the time zones are definitely crazy. So it is almost 6 a.m. here, and it's about to be 1 p.m. over where Austin is. Make sure that you guys are following Austin on Instagram as well. Austin Holloman. My man Grover from the Tip Network. Hey, listen, man. Speaking of the Tip Network, please make sure that you do subscribe to their channel. I was actually speaking with Grover yesterday evening, early morning for you, and you know, I definitely think that you guys would do great content together, man. You know, he has a lot of traveling experience, so you know, definitely, you know, I'll definitely try to link you guys up.
Okay.
I don't want to botch your name, man, so I'm gonna just say Zach. Peace King, salute to you. Grover says that I'm gonna listen to these brothers cook, man. Salute. I appreciate that. Get to the point. I don't know what you're talking about. Jeff says, hi, Holloman. Looking good, Austin, in your nice coat bought in Kenya. Oh, did you get that jacket in Kenya?
Yeah, I just got it 2 days ago here.
Oh, okay. All right. Austin Holloman's interview is killing me, but I will watch because of you. What's wrong with the interview, man? You guys be talking about the music. I wish for African Americans to know that Africa is not just 2 countries. There are a lot of beautiful countries to explore, and go where your spirit leads you and be safe. Absolutely, man. I agree with that. Many parts of Africa are incredible. I've never felt welcome and loved in my life, especially by the woman. Yeah, let's actually transition into the ladies, man. You know, now I know that you do love Nairobi.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to the dating market, as opposed to Latin America, as opposed to Southeast Asia, what are the differences that you've noticed?
In between Latin America, Southeast Asia, and Africa.
Yes,
What are the
sir.
Number one, well, Asia for me, the experience was not comparable to South America or Africa. Number one, of course, the type of people in each continent, but the way on how conservative the societies are. Oof, I would say, of course, the further west you get, like in Latin America, is more liberal, more common to be more liberal than it is in Africa. I think Kenya is probably the most close to being like a Western liberated society, as opposed to Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda. Uganda and Rwanda damn sure aren't liberated, from my understanding, or they're not. They don't move the same way. In Asia, they kind of have everything is more so. I don't know. You have to narrow that down. Like, give me some exact topics on what the difference could be.
Okay, yeah.
The welcoming is I'm more welcomed in Africa, and then second Latin America, and then third in Asia I'm fetishized. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you've pretty much answered my question there, right? Because you said that in Africa you're welcome the most, then in Latin America, and then in Southeast Asia.
Correct.
Okay, understood, right? And so like so when it comes to the dating aspect, where you're trying to court a woman, trying to ask her out on a date, or you're on a date, what are some of the differences?
Whenever I was in Asia, it depends on where I was at. In Thailand, it was so much pay for play scenario type of things in Thailand that a date, I can't remember actually going on a genuine date besides with Kate, and she was Americanized as hell, so she doesn't count. Now in Africa, I would say it's the most straightforward in Brazil, actually everywhere but Asia. In Brazil and Africa and Colombia, it's always been like a very direct, like, hey, I think you're attractive. Let's exchange numbers so we can meet later today. And it'd be something simple like that. There's not a lot of hoops you'd have to jump through or have to buy all this shit like you do in Thailand.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So you're basically saying that, like, in Africa, the women are pretty, the women are pretty much straightforward with you, as opposed to in Southeast Asia, they might be playing some games and things of that sort.
I guess you could call them games, but to me, it's just more so of a money thing.
Ah, I see.
It's literally all about money. That's why I say you could be a cornball and go over there and you'd be just fine.
I got you. Shout out to KBH the Hunter. It says, I can't wait to get to Nairobi myself. Great content. Let's talk about that, right? You were heavy a few months ago into Brazil.
Yes.
Now you love Nairobi.
Yes.
Let's talk about the two.
Okay.
What would you say? What would you say at this moment in time? Your subscribers, and you're growing in your subscriber count, and I'm so proud of you, by the way. But what would you say? Someone's saying, "Hey, should I go to Nairobi or should I go to Bahia?"
Most of my subscribers speak English, so I would say to go to Nairobi.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Bahia, the English isn't going to get you anywhere.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So it's easier to communicate in Nairobi due to the fact that they speak English, and I know in Bahia they just speak in Portuguese, so it's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it's rare to find somebody in Bahia that speaks English.
Okay, all right, cool, all right. Now, what about like the food there?
Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania had the best food I ever had in my life. And out of all 4 continents I've been on, nothing has been close to Tanzania's food.
Okay.
I would put Kenya second, and then Rwanda third, and Uganda last.
Okay. Gotcha. What kind of food do they have in Tanzania?
You know, they have like traditional African dishes, like what is it, ugali, or they have like the street chicken and all. I don't know how to describe their food, but it's a lot of food that you eat with your hands. If you've seen the videos of me trying, I can't do that. I can't.
Now, well, let me tell you, and I've told you this offline, so I'm gonna tell you on camera, man. Listen, little bro, you are a risk taker when it comes to food. Like, man, even in Asia, like some of the things you was eating, I was like, man, boy, you don't put that down.
Well, what did I eat?
You said what? I'm sorry.
What did I eat? That was in Asia. There.
Did you eat like a beetle or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. So I'm assuming like the portions are good and things of that sort.
Yes, not as big as they are in Tanzania though. So far, they've had the biggest portions of food.
All right, perfect, man. You know, that's good to know. That's good to know, man. And so, this is day 14 for you, right? And so, so as I mentioned, you know, like comparing with Brazil, outside of the language, you know, a subscriber reaches out to you in the United States, you know, typically 2 weeks vacation for the year. Someone says, hey, you know, I want to take my 2 weeks, take language out of it. Where would I have the best experience?
And
I know I'm putting you on the spot here, man.
That's gonna have to be in between Salvador Bahia and Nairobi, Kenya. I would say for sure, because they both have something going on daily. They both have enough nature you can see, enough museums you can see, enough history you can see throughout the city. They both have a lot of culture. You know, it does not have so much of a culture shock here, but it does feel like you're in another country, especially because it's all black people, like all black people.
Right.
But I would have to tell somebody again. That's a really hard question between the two. Which one would they go to? Without language being included, I would still have to go with Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're feeling Kenya. So Kenya is number 1 and Bahia is number 2.
Yeah, because in Bahia there still are some issues with payments. Like here, you can pay by phone using M-Pesa or World Remit. And here you had to have Pix, but it was like jumping through. It was asking for too much to get an account with Pix. It was like they had so many hoops you have to jump through to become part of programs or join systems in Brazil. They kind of make it's kind of an inconvenience to be there, but it's enough for me to not want to go. But Kenya doesn't have the issue so far.
Gotcha. You know, you mentioned public transportation, right? And so, do they have like a subway system there in Nairobi?
I'm pretty sure they do, but I haven't seen it. But I know they have a bus, and then they have what they call, I think it's a matutu or something like that. It's like a bus, and it's like a club bus.
Okay.
Kind of like Soul Plane, but a bus.
Soul Plane, please.
Literally, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I like that, man. And you mentioned like museums and things of that sort, right? So tell me about some of the favorite things, landmarks or um places that you've been to that you really had a great experience in Nairobi.
Uh, Number one, I would probably have to say the safari, because I had never been to an actual safari. I've only been to zoos,
Yeah,
and it was I had a friend with me, and she made the experience a lot better. But it gave me another feeling of, again, being in Africa, actually being able to be on a safari like what they only show you on TV. But that was just part of my true experience of knowing that I was actually on the continent of Africa, is being around the animals and black
yeah.
people.
Yeah, I saw one video. You funny. I think you had seen a lion and you was like, let me get my ass back in this car.
Yeah, the girl, she actually
Yeah.
stuck her hand out the window, like trying to tell the lion to come here, and it got up. Now, I didn't have that part on video, but it got up. It was
Oh, okay.
window, yeah, while the windows were down.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that's why I chose to sit down.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, man. It's good that like it's good that you have that experience because like you're able to check out the safari, but there's also an affluent metropolitan city, man. I really love that experience, man. Um, I myself, I'm gonna be going to Nairobi next year, man. So hopefully you're still out there. So as the more you learn, you'll be able to show me around, man. Because I'm watching your videos and I'm just learning, vicariously through you, man, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And look, let's talk about the cigars. So I see you smoking cigars and all that, man. What got you into that?
That's a good question. I actually started once in Brazil, and I didn't know that you weren't supposed to inhale them. And
Oh yeah, no, you're
I
not.
had got this feeling like I was really high. And so
Yeah,
I thought that's what the cigar made you feel like when you combined it with alcohol, but I never did it again because it was too much.
yeah.
Uh, I got to Tanzania, and I had just thought about, let me try it one more time, and I didn't stop it. I haven't stopped since then.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, it's really good, man. I personally love cigars. I love cigars, man. And also let's talk about like the shopping because you said that you just bought that jacket 2 days ago. I'm seeing you in suits and all that, man. So I'm loving the look, man.
Thank
So let's talk about like shopping, right? As far as the the US dollar comparison, how is that?
For the most part, getting tailor-made clothes is a lot cheaper, of course, than it would be in the States because there's no taxes to import all the raw materials. A lot of those raw materials they get from where they're at.
I
Not
see.
always, but so it's cheaper. Plus, the conversion, the U.S. dollar conversion, makes everything cheaper anyway. You
Okay.
can find the same quality clothes and brands that aren't in the United States, but a brand that be somewhere in Africa
Hmm.
for sometimes half the price.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of stores here that charge the same as they would in the States.
Okay, okay, okay. So speaking of prices, one of the things that came out fairly recently, um, now United States, well, when you're traveling to the country of Kenya itself, you no longer need a visa. Second thing is that if you are black, you have African descent, you can actually purchase property in Kenya. And I know that you have posted a video about some apartments and things of that sort. So compare the prices as opposed to like getting an apartment in Kenya to the United States.
They're not comparable at all. So you can have a 3-bedroom. I heard out here for around $600-700 in this area of town, which I heard. I don't know for sure. I just heard locals say this. Westlands, which is kind of like their tourist zone, from my understanding, for $600-700 for a 3-bedroom versus a 3-bedroom in Dallas is going to run you almost $3,000 a month. And that's not downtown. That's not in the tourist zone. That's just anywhere in Dallas, unless if it's in the hood.
Wow. Okay. So what would you say is like the average price? Let's say a 2-bedroom
In Dallas.
No. I'm sorry. In Nairobi. Pardon me. I should have specified. I'm talking about Nairobi. No, definitely not Dallas.
500.
Wow. And you're in an affluent area and close to everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Most of Nairobi is an affluent area, though. That most places, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of shops or just resources nearby, I should say.
Okay. Man, that's really great to know, man. That's really great to know. And as I mentioned, now people can purchase property there. As long as you're melanin, you can purchase property there, and it's not an issue. Kind of going back into Southeast Asia, and I did a video this past Tuesday with our good friend Andre Love Crossing Borders, and we were talking about in some places in Southeast Asia, unless like you're from that particular country, you can't purchase any property there.
Yes, that's most places in Southeast Asia that I heard.
Yeah,
I wanted to do an Airbnb in Vietnam, and they said that foreigners couldn't own a single and rent it out.
Yeah. See that's a challenge, man, because you hear so many great things about Southeast Asia, but you can't even get property there. So with Nairobi, I think that this is going to entice more people to go over there and purchase property and become expats.
Yeah, in Southeast Asia, you'll be, from what I'm seeing, like permanently a guest. It's not like Ghana and Kenya where they're trying to get you to become a citizen. You're permanently a guest, from what I've seen.
Gotcha. You mentioned Ghana, and I wanted to ask you, and that was going to be kind of like my last question, but I'll ask you now. So you're currently in Nairobi. What other countries are you planning on visiting? And I'm assuming Ghana's on your list.
Yeah, so right now I'm going from east, south to west, then north, saving Ethiopia and Eritrea for last.
Okay.
So the next countries will be Madagascar, Mozambique, Zambia, Angola, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Sao Tome, Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, Ivory Coast, and the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I already said Ethiopia and Eritrea for last. Yeah.
Right. One of the countries that stand out to me, you mentioned Angola. They speak Portuguese in Angola, and you speak Portuguese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do in Mozambique too, but they claim that only 50% of the population. Cape Verde, I'm gonna go to Cape Verde too, Mauritius, and Reunion Island.
Yeah. With Cape Verde, that's a hidden gem, man. I'm not saying anything about Cape Verde, but yeah, they speak Portuguese over there too, man. So I think that you'll be able to fit right in because I know that you're pretty fluent in Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
Off topic, but have you been continuing to practice that?
I speak to people in Portuguese, but as far as taking my lessons, no. But
Okay.
it seems like the longer I was out of Brazil, I think just with that time, the language was able to simmer in my brain a little better now.
Gotcha. Understood, man. Understood. Um. So now, we're approaching the 1 hour mark, and I actually got to get ready to go to work. So I'll start my day, and you have already started your day, man. But couple of questions, and I'll jump into the comments here. You're approaching, you're almost approaching 100,000 subscribers, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's next on the docket for Mr. Holloman? What's next, man?
As far as my subscriber count, or what do you mean?
Everything, your subscriber count, content. It is such an open-ended question. You can answer it however you like, my brother.
Well, right now, my content is about me traveling throughout the world, currently Africa.
Yeah.
And by the time I make it back to Latin America, I want to be at least 1 million subs. And then when I go back, my next version of, or I should say chapter of my life, would be me actually permanently moving to one of these countries that I like the most. And for example, after I leave Latin America, I would come back to Kenya, and then it'd be about me fully integrating myself, on a 2-3 year lease or something, fully wanting to stay in Kenya and not go anywhere else rather than me jumping around the world.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha, man. So you have a lot, you inspire a lot of younger people that are traveling. You've taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and you just you took that leap. You don't have any children, young man. How, like, do you feel that you have an obligation for the younger generation, Blue Book gentlemen, whether they call themselves passport bro, whatever, of the travel community? Do you feel as though that you have an obligation to the, to mentor, so to speak, these younger travelers that are going abroad? And if you do, what's your main message that you want to get out to them? And if you don't, then you just say you don't.
I wouldn't say that I'm obligated, but I feel like the content that I create holds an expectation for that age group of people, that I'm setting an example, showing people what they can do if they're not satisfied or they had similar complaints to what I had living in the United States.
Right.
One thing I would say to them is, I was telling somebody this yesterday, in the United States, there's a lot of things that they're pushing on you to make you feel like something's wrong with you, or you're crazy. I talk about the endless self-improvement journey. Like, you have an issue, people say, "Oh, just work on yourself. Just work on you." For I guess your entire life, you're supposed to get shit and just work on yourself and get nothing in return. And for me, I was able to flip that around by taking what I had already accomplished to another society and getting a completely different result. So if you feel like you're crazy in the United States, maybe it might not be you. Some people are crazy, but maybe it might not be you. And if you travel somewhere else, you may see exactly what I'm talking about. You likely will.
Right. Absolutely, man. I completely agree with that, because like, in these spaces, and I've talked to a couple of people, some people that travel, some people that don't. But what I have noticed, the difference is, people who do travel, we provide a solution, and people that don't travel, they seem to be talking about the same thing in circles over and over again without providing any solutions. As you mentioned, like, people complain and things of that sort, but you're providing a solution. Now, in the end game, do we know that it's going to be the right solution? Maybe, maybe not. But the thing is that we are providing a solution, as opposed to just continuously talking about a problem that we all know that's happening. So, I would like to say in closing, and then we'll get to the comments here, that you are providing a solution for the younger men, and I look at your growth, and we talk pretty much almost every day, every other day, or what have you, and so and I've said this privately, and I'll say this publicly, like I am proud of you. You're a friend of mine. I'm always going to be a supporter of yours, and I appreciate what you are doing and continuously doing. I see your elevation, I see your growth, and I want to see you. You said 1 million. I want to see you get 100 million, man. That's what I want to see, man. Because you my little bro, and I always want to see you win, man. And I'm proud of you, man. For real.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So before we close out, let me get to some of these comments here. And I know some people had like some questions here. Let's see. Okay. Young Kawai, I'm not sure if I was saying your name wrong, pardon me, but they want to know what is so different about Rwanda.
Rwanda, so overall rated before, as I said, it was the most beautiful African country I had been to so far as the views and all that.
Yeah.
But the level of modernization and the access to basic necessities like a shoe store were not easy to find. Here in Kenya, if I need a pair of shoes, it's just like being in the States. I could walk in the mall and buy a new pair of shoes. Over there, they had stuff set up alongside the side of the street, selling like work boots, slaying stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
And they have, and which was odd because the city looked very modernized. And then they have a mall, so-called mall, which is really just like an outdoor outlet.
Yeah.
It looks like it may be being rebuilt into a mall again.
Mm-hmm.
The closest they had to a shoe store was a kiosk. And what you saw in the window was the only size they had in that shoe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Kigali has 5G, fast internet, cleanest city in Africa, very friendly people, but I don't know what's up with them not having access to those basic things.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see here. Y'all got a Discord server? Yes. We do have a Discord. All of my moderators actually sleep or they just waking up. So, but we do have a Discord, and actually, if you look in the description of the video, the link to the Discord is actually in there. So definitely make sure that you guys and ladies that are in here check that out. It says y'all up early. Well, this afternoon in Kenya. I'm surprised y'all streaming so early. Well, again, the time zone difference, man. Dude Ranch. I'm not sure. I don't know what Jeff's talking about, but it's okay. Dude Ranch. Okay, Sausage Fest. Okay, he's talking about the clubs there. Yep, my girl is Kenya and she is fire. Okay, it's early. Yeah, well, it's early in Cali. Need that jacket today though. It is cold in Nairobi. Yeah, man. So it's actually winter over there, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Very cold.
What would you say? What would you say the temperature is like?
I think the lowest I've seen it here was 50 degrees.
Okay. All right. Okay.
For me, I haven't been in cold weather since 2022. So
yeah,
I should say early 2023. No,
okay.
2022. Early 2022. So for me, it's cold.
I got you, man. Hey, listen, I'm from the Northeast, man. We get 50 degrees, we happy.
Yeah, I know.
We are happy, man. Cold is like when it's like 20 degrees, 10 degrees.
Yeah.
50 degrees. We like we throw a hoodie on, we good. Let's see. Okay. Kenneth Johnson asks, did Austin get his money straight with his bank? does he still need help while being in Africa?
Yes, I got my money straight in my bank. I actually had to have. I went through hell actually to get it back to do the verification process. I would advise anybody to either keep your U.S. phone number or give somebody that you trust access to your bank account as far as verification, not anything else, but them having their phone number so you can do the two-factor authorization, because that's where I had my issue at. But I have a Wise card which doesn't charge international transaction fees. But luckily for me, it doesn't work in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania, just Rwanda. And it's so far from where I've been to in Africa. But I still recommend it.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Let's see here. Estes Magic. Hey, Austin, looking good.
Thank you.
Thailand, the best. We all know that. I think Austin would disagree.
It's nice. It's a nice place, but not the best place.
Gotcha. Kate got a lot of views. Kate is so. Come on, man. All right. Let's see here. FO Eva Rain. Keep doing what you do, young man. It's about your journey and your growth. Your content is raw and honest and needed. Please stay up. Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mary Judith from Nairobi, the second largest city in Kenya, Mombasa, and other coastal regions.
Okay.
Mrs. H. Kate was a modern Asian woman. Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to Kate. No issues with her, man. She's cool people, man. You know, I've had the pleasure of like speaking to her a couple of times, you know, so she seemed like she was cool people. Shout out to the chat. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to everyone that's here. Let's see here. Austin, would you ever go back to your roots and practice polygamy?
Probably not. Not. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to try that to know the answer to that. But,
okay, that's fair.
It sounds great, but I don't know.
Man, you know, it sounds good. It sounds good until it's not good. I get you.
Yeah.
Let's see here, Mrs. H. Just keeping it real. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Is Kate a freelancer?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think so. I feel you on that, Austin. You got to use a fork or a spoon. Oh, I think because of the food with your hands and stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Shout out to Andrew. Forget racist Brazil, Africa content is the best. My wife and daughter are from Salvador, Bahia. Shout out to Salvador, Bahia, man. You know. Still want to go there. Big Bass in the check-in. Salute Austin. Be in Thailand in July. Good to see your progress, Texas boys.
Thank you.
Salute. My man Professor Max is in the building. Good morning, Austin and the Wrench Gang. Salute.
Good morning.
Yeah. My wrench gang is still sleeping, so but it's all good. Jennifer at Austin, what would you say African American men offer African women that African men don't? That's actually a good question, man.
The typical thing that comes with being a U.S. citizen, higher currency conversion, different from what I've heard. More favorable treatment towards the women. I don't know how. I'm not an African woman, so I don't know how the men treat them exactly. But a lot of women around the world claim they like how American men treat the women because we're softer to the women, and that way of saying it.
I got you. All right. See, Crip for Life. Been to all these countries mentioned, except for Colombia. Africa as a whole, and Kenya, Tanzania in particular, are the best place for Black Americans. Trust that. Okay. Well, you know, I have not been to the continent of Africa yet. You know, and those who do watch my content know that I frequent Colombia a lot. I have an apartment in Medellin, Colombia, but you know, there's a lot of Afro. You know, there's a lot of Black people in Colombia. You know, one of the things Austin had mentioned earlier, when you were talking about how in the United States, when you see Africa, you just see like the lions, tigers, and bears. You don't actually see like affluent cities and things like that. And then, you know, you hear about Colombia and you just hear like the jungle, or you hear about like, you know, the show Narcos and stuff like that. You know, can't deny like stuff like that did happen, but you know, like the cities in Colombia are very affluent. Cartagena's affluent, Medellin's affluent, Cali's affluent. So, you know, just wanted to throw that in there. Let's see here. TK says no subway, but there are a few trains. Okay, that's good to know. Shout out to my man Ted in the building. We do SGR. What is SGR? I don't know what that means. You know what that means?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Swag. Austin Holloman inspiring people to not put up with combative women in the West. Oh man, my man RPA is in the building, man. Salute, man. I appreciate you for being here, bro. For Real TV says that lion was free to do whatever. That was crazy to see. Well, you know, I watched the video where you was like, "Let me sit my ass down." I was like, "Yep."
Yeah. I don't put the lion.
I kept replaying it. I was like, yeah, like Austin's like, listen, like, I know the score.
Yeah.
Oh man, Brazil has better beaches than Kenya or Tanzania. I'll give it that. Ooh, your thoughts?
I haven't been to the beaches in Kenya yet. I will here in a couple of weeks, but it's for sure beating Tanzania's beaches, not because of how they look, but because there's no beach culture that I really seen when I was in Dar es Salaam. Like, it was, you go to the beach and you're the only one over there.
Ah, I see.
Brazil, it's the beach is another club.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, definitely like and subscribe, family. Lucky Boy says passport bros for life. Salute. Let's see. Brazil has 88 million Black people and have no representative in their government, my bro. Wow.
Very true.
Wow. That's shockingly disturbing, actually.
Yeah, on the federal level, they don't have any Black people in their government.
Wow. That's wow. That's a conversation for another day, but you know, certainly when I talk about that, I actually would like to involve you in that conversation. But you know, we can talk about that offline. All right. J-Star says, salute Austin. You're looking hella comfortable and healthy on that continent. Be safe, brother. Yes, absolutely, man. You know, as I mentioned, man, you know, you know, Barry Gordon's Last Dragon, that's the name of the movie. Watch that movie and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, this guy, you know, becomes a kung fu master. And it came out in like the 70s or 80s or whatever. And he has like this glow about him. So I was saying, you know, just that you've been on the continent of Africa, you have like a certain glow about you. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
that's what I was trying to reference earlier, but I was still kind of waking up, guys. So my bad. But Jennifer says, Austin Holloman, if you were to settle in Nairobi, what kind of business would you start and why? Great question, Jennifer.
I've always wanted to either do Airbnbs, but I would be the type of person to invest in other existing businesses that need help, and just have a portion of the business. Right now I can't have too much responsibility with as much as I'm moving around. But you said if I settled there, I would still do the same thing.
I see. Okay. Airbnb, real estate, understood. Let's see here. A good cigar is a sign of peace in mind and success.
Yes.
I definitely agree about that. I definitely agree about that, man. You know. Let's see here. Passport Bros still winning. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you just got a couple of knuckleheads that do like stupid stuff, man. But yeah, for sure. I also Holloman, what are 3 flags about Kenya so far? Man, Jennifer is asking some great questions.
Ooh, 3 red flags about the country or about the people? Like which one?
Let's go with the country, because I don't want to, I don't want to, the people, we don't want that. Yeah.
So far, I think I would need to stay here a little longer. I haven't seen too many red flags. If there was red flags like that, I wouldn't have circled back.
You know what? That's good. Okay. The Mikey story. You can't own the land, but there are ways you can buy the property. Okay.
Let's talk about Asia.
Yeah. What's that say? Seal? Hello. Good morning. No, good afternoon, wherever you at. Shady Ratty 92. Yo, Austin, if you meet with Wode Maya, that would be fire.
Yes, I have a way to connect with him.
Okay, cool. Andrew says you like South Africa. Yeah, for sure, man. Man, that's good to hear, brother Austin. Enjoy the motherland for sure. Let's see here. Benza says 10K will get you a Kenya citizenship.
Yes.
Is that the only way?
I'm not sure. That was my first time hearing it. I was just agreeing with.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know either. But okay. Shady Ratty says, "Get your passport, guys." Yes. Get your passport. But I will say this. Get your passport, but have the mindset to be able to travel. And I did a live stream on Tuesday with Andre Love Crossing Borders, and we talked about 7 different ways men can ruin their vacation. Listen, if you don't have your mind right, ready to travel, don't bring that North American bullshit to other countries, man. Like if you don't have, listen, men, if you don't have your shit together, don't travel. So I would say the right men who are willing to take the proper steps, yes, get your passport. But if you a piece of shit, don't get your passport, please. I'm saying that. Austin, you don't even have to chime in. You're like, damn, K&D cooking. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so my rent here is $288 a month. And there's a gym in the building with tight security. Not that safety is an issue. Okay. It's good, man. Passport Brothers are starting to be heavily supported in Africa. That's what's up, man. Let's see. Portuguese is different from Brazilian Portuguese. Angola and Mozambique and Sao Tome, Poros also a bit different. So I guess they're talking about like the dialect. Maybe I'm not really sure.
I think
you
it's the same thing in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Kind of like how like you got like Puerto Rican, Dominican Spanish, and then you have like Mexican and Colombian Spanish. Got it. Understood. Austin loves Nairobi. Yes, he does. Okay, love it. More expats live in Kenya. Yeah, for sure, man. All right, let's see here. Lucky Boy says you really opened up a lot of brothers' eyes to leave the Matrix. The Passport Bro movement was really an eye opener to brothers. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Mr. Bing, bow. Good morning, Austin. Salute. Andrea Daniels. I was wondering the same. To be honest, unless the format is switched up and revamped, I don't see the potential to 1 million. Austin is great, but the content and demographic doesn't attest.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I mean, you know, people can say like this is like a you know, it's a niche space, if you will, but like you have people that are doing very well. My pushback on that, Andrea, is if you're able to, continuously put out content and continuously being interactive and showing good content or speaking on good content, you can definitely get 1 million.
Correct.
As mentioned, make sure that you guys are following Austin on Twitter, also on Instagram as well, man. Let's see here. But we love Austin, and he is maturing so much. Great to witness. Yes, absolutely, man. All right, guys, talking to each other. Austin is the next international star after Ian Mara. Wow, those are some pretty big shoes to fill, man. Shout out to Ian Mara, man. That's my guy right there. The likes up. Let's see. There are a bunch of feminists in Africa. You can tell that through the O'Shea Duke Jackson show. I don't know if you want to expound on that or you kind of want to keep that pushing.
The feminists are different in other places of the world, and like I always say, feminists in America want to figure out how they can have babies without men being involved at all. That's not in Africa. Let me say, as far as that bullshit, I don't think you see that in Africa.
Right.
Because a lot of it, like the United States is just full of bullshit. And right. I don't think that, like the whole, I feel like I'm a fish today, all that bullshit. I don't think you're in all that,
Right. Yeah, for sure, man. All right. Austin has really mellowed out since coming to Africa. Must be something about the woman.
Yeah.
I would say, actually probably before that. When after the whole Brazil thing went on and you went to Asia, like I've seen the calmer side of you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you and I have talked about this offline. So guys, just remember, like I talk to this guy all the time. So the things that I'm mentioning, these are things that he and I have already talked about. See, Austin is going to Cape Verde. Yes, he is gonna go. I'm gonna go too, but we don't want a lot of y'all to go.
Yeah.
Some of y'all don't know how to act, man. Try to settle down with a sister and start a family over there on the continent. I mean, if I had to say so, Austin is going to marry a sister. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice jacket. You dress up more in Kenya. Looks nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, this dude wearing suits and all that, you know. That's what's up, man. What the heck? Why is it called a sausage fest? They know what that means there. Yeah, I mean, well, what they're trying to say is that it's overwhelmingly more men than women. It's not enticing for men. That's what that means. It goes up to 10 degrees. What? 10 degrees in Kenya? I'm sorry, I just don't see that. Oh, my fault. I can't believe I missed the super chat. Sorry about that. Zachary Brown, player jacket. Austin, keep winning, sir. Salute and thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Austin, you need to travel with an American Express card. It is one of the best common traveling cards.
You know, that's good advice, but that's like saying, "Oh, also you should go buy a Ferrari." Like, everybody can't get an American Express card at ease. I've applied 3 times to that card, and they send me stuff in the mail. I'm done with credit.
That's true. Austin, try a Revolt card. Have you tried that?
I've heard of that one.
Oh, okay. Austin, when you go into Johannesburg, so South Africa, didn't you say like I guess like in a few months?
About 2 months.
Okay. All right. So we're about to hit July, so probably by August, September.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I like him better in Kenya. He seems happier and more fashion forward. Yes, definitely the fashion. Not to say Austin was a bad dresser, but yeah, like, you know, I see the cigar and the suit, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Polygamy is not in his roots. I mean, listen, you guys, not to go too far down a rabbit hole, but like, you know, balancing more than one woman, that's that's a task, man. You know, it sounds fun, but that's a task. Yeah. Okay. Andrea Daniel says, does Austin have any upcoming plans for reformatting and or implementing any strategies in order to reach his goal of growing his channel? That's a good question.
Well, you've already seen that kind of implemented when I went to Asia back in January, and when I came to Africa, my content switched up a little bit again.
Right.
So I think I'm doing what I'm doing and learning along the way, seeking advice.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like my shit is stagnated. You know, I'm getting at least like 1,000 to 1,500 subs a week. So that's not the fastest, but it's not stagnated.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that one. Let's see here. My wife and daughter are from Bahia, and she prefers South Africa, Kenya. Okay, salute. It appeared as the typical Vegas 304. Sorry, regardless of how cool she was. No comment, man. Not gonna go there. Food. Thought-provoking. Yes, absolutely. How can we support you financially, Austin? If you actually look at the description Austin has, I believe you have your Cash App on there. Jeff, if you're still there, can you drop Austin's Cash App? And actually, I see one of my moderators, Tim Howard, man. Thank you so much for being here. If you could drop Austin's Cash App, you guys can donate there. Wow, y'all woke early. Well, it's afternoon in Kenya, man. So I was like, hey, let's knock this interview out before I gotta head to work. Let's see here. Visitors will come. Hold on. Visitors are welcome in Kenya, my motherland. I thank you guys. Yes, salute. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Ethiopia should be interesting, along with the beautiful woman. When is Austin making his way there? Didn't you say? Well, that's going to be last, right? So, I would assume probably the top of 2024.
About around December.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Afro Latino, yes. Melanated Lux, salute. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Let's see here. Y'all are some early birds up in here. Guys, there's a 7-hour time difference, so this is why I did that. Is that true? Mind sharing more info on that? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Guys, just post please post Austin's Cash App. You guys can donate there. Let's see. I'm trying to wrap this thing up because it is almost 7 a.m. here and a brother gotta go. Food, Mukimo. Man, listen, I'm not gonna be able to I'm not gonna be able to pronounce all of that. Can you read? Can you understand what that is? Because I can't.
No, that's Swahili though.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, standard gauge railways. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Austin could be using that when traveling to Mombasa, sorry. All right, let's get it in. Personally, as a black woman, I don't want to meet Latino or Portuguese guys, but it looks like Africa needs some tourist-friendly hospitality upgrades that aligns with the religion. Okay. All right. I am just going to be focusing on the questions at this particular point now because brother's got to go. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. All right. These guys are just pretty much having conversations with each other. There's a whole bunch of white people in South Africa. Yes. And there's a whole bunch of black people. Ted says we need to get a gym session in ASAP.
Yes, I'll be speaking to him in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, that's my dude, man. A lot of crime in Johannesburg, right? Man, listen, there's if you're in a metropolitan city, expect crime, no matter where in the world. South African is a good transition for you. First country through Africa, then you can try other countries that feel more like African and not so diverse. Whoa. Okay. There's a lot. Okay. I'm about to just jump around here because there's a lot. You said I read every comment. You got to add the person though, man. So I have no idea. I'm thinking that you talking to Austin. Good morning, Red Lipstick Vibes. I definitely appreciate you being here. Oh, I see my brother, the Flyboy Way, is in here too, man. Salute, man. All right, we're gonna close this thing out, brother. Give me your final thoughts, man.
As I always said, you're not always crazy if you live in the United States. If you travel somewhere else, you'll be way more appreciated, way more welcome, and you'll have a way better quality of life, like somewhere here in Nairobi, Kenya. And that's a place I recommend trying.
Absolutely, brother, man. Thank you for taking the time out to speak to me, and and I appreciate those who are in the United States, on the East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, who was up early watching. So appreciate y'all, and hope you guys have a great day and enjoy your afternoon, man. Salute and stay purposely purposeful. Salute, salute, salute. Peace.
Thank you.